Hi, I'm Scott Rendell. I'm here with AskTheFloodGuys.com. It's a brand new website we're launching. And I have
Chad Warden.
And Chad is here as the other half of Ask the Flood Guys. And Chad, what are we doing here? What are we trying to accomplish?
We're trying to bridge the two industries, restoration and contracting with insurance adjusting.
And those two will bridge over to the consumer side too. So we got like three legs going on, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so what we're going to try to accomplish here is demystify, if you will, the insurance industry for both contractors and the insured, and also help the contractors and the insurance company understand consumer problems, right?
Yes, definitely. That's what we're here to help with, and that seems to be a major problem when someone's had their first insurance job they're doing or their first insurance claim on their property.
That's right, yep. And just a little background, I've been in the cleaning and restoration industry, it's my 20th year. We've done hundreds of floods over the years. We also do a little bit of fire damage, but mostly floods and cleaning is our expertise. And Chad, what's your background?
I've been in the construction industry for 16 years, doing remodels and attending to my clients' restoration needs after they Scott's dried them out and fixed them.
So we thought it would be kind of a good symbiotic fit for both of us to speak on the two halves of the, well actually three if you count cleaning, but if you count the dry down, the emergency services, mitigation, that's where I come in, and Chad comes in after me to take care of a lot of the construction. You know, the third leg is usually the final cleanup, but that part usually isn't of concern. It's the first two parts, and especially the part where the consumer goes, now what? I've had a flood. I don't know what to do. What should I do? So let's start there, Chad. The consumer has a flood, and what are they normally told by the insurance company?
They're normally told to get 3 estimates.
Yeah.
They say you should get 3 estimates.
Yep, that's a popular one. What else? I mean, a lot of times they're like, go with our guy.
Yep.
Yeah, so get the 3 estimates. What they're doing is trying to push the consumer into a decision, an instant decision, to make their lives easier rather than right for the consumer. And, you know, for doing this for 20 years, and Chad for how long, 15? 16
yeah.
years. It just didn't seem right for us to allow that to continue to happen. Now, certainly not all insurance companies are like that. We actually work with a lot of insurance companies locally who do a great job of explaining to the consumer their policy, what to expect in an emergency, how to handle it, what they should do right away, and they do it correctly, but unfortunately that seems to be the exception and not the rule.
Yeah, that has definitely been my experience.
Yeah.
The bigger the companies seem to be, the more they seem to be trying to push the insured into using their companies so they can save time and money rather than doing the correct thing that needs to be done for the insured.
And, you know, I don't really want to throw all the adjusters under the bus either, because there are some really good adjusters out there. I've dealt with several over the years, and they really do seem to care. It's just that they get a stack of claims that seem to come in all at once, and rather than go through this, I guess, process of a hand-holding with each client, they just sometimes feel it's a lot easier just to go, take our guy and run with it, and it's just a lot easier for them, right?
Yeah, that's easier too, and then, you know, it's just easier for them to work with that, and then they don't have to deal with it,
Yeah.
or they don't have to deal with your contractor.
Right, and every time they do that, it's one less claim to worry about. Now they got their guy on the team, you know, their guy. It's not really their guy, because consumers need to know that no contractor works for the insurance company. Now, most insurance companies have their favorite, and a lot of it, unfortunately, has to do with the lowest price. They'll have a national contract, or there'll be, you know, some kind of company that's been around on a national front for a long time, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but we're relatively certain that, you know, these companies they have some kind of agreements, maybe informal, but because they want to run it through and make sure that the claim is processed as fast as possible, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to blame them. So, but we don't want to, throw all the adjusters under the bus, because there's certainly some good ones out there.
No, we've just worked with several good ones that
Yeah.
were from different states, even during all the ice damming of this year in Michigan.
Yeah, we've had record ice dams this year. I think the last time we had this many was
98.
98, yeah. And this is, by the way, April 21st, 2014, so you'll have to excuse us on our not getting all the details out of the way first. We're anxious to get this thing started, and we wanted to roll with it and kind of give an overview of what who we are and what we're trying to accomplish here. Now, our overall vision is to, like Chad said, bridge these, I guess it's two gaps, the insurance to the contractor, and to the
insurance to the customer.
To the customer, yeah, because there's actually three legs that go in there, and the customer's in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's really important for people to understand. And the first thing we do when we explain to the customer is you have two agreements. You've got the insurance agreement, and you have the agreement with us, the contract. So therefore, the customer, in our opinion, and in reality, is in charge. And we let them know that you're the boss. We work for you. The insurance company, if it's set up correctly through the adjuster, they're supposed to work for the consumer too, the insured. So when that claim comes in, they just have a central focus on that consumer. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way.
That's if you can use your own people that have your best interests instead of the same company that's providing the check to you, that you provide a check to, their interests aren't necessarily your best interests.
Right. And one of the things I like to tell every consumer insured when we're on the job site when we first arrive is that let's cut to the chase. The insurance is an adversarial agreement. They have profits in mind. That's a business. That's what happens. And every company that's successful has to have a focus on the profits. But unfortunately, what happens is that also means that they're pulling money out of the pool. They want to pull out as least money as possible from the pool to pay out, and that doesn't always mean that you're going to be taken care of.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, if they can downgrade materials, we've seen that. I mean, we've had that happen to us, where we pull out an item of a certain quality, and they adjust to a lower quality item, and we have to fight for those amounts for the customers to get them what they're owed. They're owed like, kind, and quality, not a reduced quality item. And if the homeowner and contractor aren't aware of these issues, they can end up getting a lower quality replacement and basically not be getting what they paid for.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens on the dry down a little bit too. The adjuster walks in who we're not familiar with, and he might say, well, what's up with all this equipment? We use formulas and calculations to derive the number, not that we made up, but the industry has an accepted practice called psychrometry. So what we do is we just figure out the cubic footage, figure out which areas are wet, and then we put in the proper amount based on those calculations. Well, if you get a renegade adjuster come flying in the door, he thinks everybody's out to get him. He might look at a particular claim and say, that's too much equipment. And then it's our job as restorers to prove to him and quantify that we do have the proper amount of equipment in there. We just went through these several floods, like Chad said, and for the most part, the adjuster was fine. On a couple of them, though, they were like, well, what did you have an air scrubber in there for?
Yeah.
Why would you need an air scrubber? And, why do we need an air scrubber?
Well, somebody has allergies.
Right.
And their house is going to be dusty.
Yep.
And there's possibility of even a small amount of mold growing while everything's going on.
That's right.
The air needs to be cleaned because that's how it was pre-loss condition.
Yep. Everything we do is going to be returning them to pre-loss condition, and Chad uses like, kind, and quality materials. That's the way it's supposed to work. So.
And it's kind of funny. By default, we're fighting on your side because the more work that we can get, the more money we can make. So by default, we're trying to get every item that you're owed. So if there's an extra piece of trim or an extra wall that has to get painted or an extra dehumidifier that has to go into a room to make sure it's dry, we're fighting to get everything that you're owed. But kind of by default, it's where the insurance adjusters on the opposite side, every dime they can save is for them, or for their company.
I think that too portends into what we're trying to accomplish in our own restoration businesses. And each of our companies looks at the consumer, or looks at ourselves as consumer advocates. And that's a different mindset than if it's a insurance advocate, or if you work for the insurance company. And a lot of guys say, I'm an insurance contractor. Well, we're not insurance contractors.
Yes. No.
You could say, we don't do work for the insurance contract or the insurance company. We do it for the consumer.
Yeah, both of us, the majority of our clients, call us after we've done normal construction and cleaning work for them, and when they have a problem, they call us to fix their emergency problem. We don't go out and hunt insurance work.
Right. Yeah, we don't chase floods or
Yeah.
ambulances or any of that stuff. We have, being around the block so long, we've established a trust with our own businesses that, we just talk to them and let them know if they ever have a flood or a fire or a mold emergency to pick up the phone and give us a call. And that's served us well over the years. So I think that's, unless you have something else for this very first video of Ask the Flood Guys.
No,
Go ahead.
no, this is our first unscripted video for Ask the Flood Guys, and maybe we were overexcited almost, it seems like, because we have so much that we information we want to get out.
And there is a lot more to come. We envision that this thing's going to have, at the end of the journey, who knows how many years down the road that'll be, but thousands of videos. And we're not even sure how it's going to be uploaded, whether it's going to be on a video website. We know it's going to YouTube. So, maybe you can give us some feedback. If you have any questions about the insurance industry, from a contractor standpoint or a consumer standpoint, please, by all means, hit us up on our Facebook page once we have one. I'll probably put one together tonight before we get rolling and have that tied in, so at least we can get some feedback if there is any.
I guess some of our video blog will be on computers also.
Yeah. YouTube's on computer now, so. Okay. Well, we're going to, as you can tell too, we're going to keep it friendly and open. We're approachable people. I think that's one of the problems in our industry is a lot of guarded secrets too. There's a lot of insurance contractors who don't want to help out the other contractors. They want to just kind of focus on their own little world and leave everybody else to their own devices to figure it out. And we think that with a educated couple legs of the industry, the contractor drying side and also the reconstruction side, as well as the consumer side, that when this educational stuff comes together, that it's a better industry and it's a better working environment for Chad and I, and also less hassle for the consumer. So with that, we're going to wrap up. And Chad, did you have anything else for today before we go?
I'm just hoping we actually get some questions that consumers and contractors have that are having their first claim job-wise or claim-wise on their home or business that they want us to help them with.
Right. So once we get our Facebook account, which hopefully will be as we upload these videos, go ahead and hit us up on our Facebook account. I believe it's going to be Ask the Flood Guys on Facebook. And for the first few videos anyways, we'll put the link up on YouTube. So thanks very much, and we'll talk to you soon.